Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast. This is the podcast where we dive into the world of TV and movies and we discuss the good, the bad, and the damn right ugly. My name is James, and welcome to this week's episode. And we are episode 38. And as you listen to this, Happy New Year! This is the first episode of the podcast dropping in 2024. It is January 1st, 2024. Happy New Year to everybody. And this week we are talking, we started off 2024 with a bang actually. We're talking one of the greatest kids animated shows ever to come from Disney, in my opinion. And we're discussing Recess. Now, before we start off, I'd just like to say thank you all for making a 2023 an amazing year. As I discovered during either the Home Alone episode or the episode before that this podcast is almost a year old. It'll be a year old in April, which is crazy. And I'd just like to say thank you all for coming in, listening, being active in the comments. It's been wonderful. I didn't expect this podcast to be going as far as it's gone, but I'm really, really happy, and I'm so looking forward to seeing what 2024 brings us. And I hope you guys are there for the journey as well. So thank you all for being here. I do appreciate it. Right, let's get on to the episode, shall we? We are talking Recess, which, as we get this up on here, which originally released on ABC Network. Yeah, let me double check. I did have it on. It was initially released on ABC and UPN on September 13th, 1997, and ended November 5th, 2001. Let's go. Enjoy the episode, everybody.
Okay, Gretchen, here comes an easy one. Burn it in here, baby.
Okay, so this episode is probably bringing back to my childhood. This one, growing up watching this, we originally watched it on we as in like me and my siblings. We watched this show on it was either the Disney Channel, Toon Disney, or ITV as well, ITV Kids. It was never on CBBC, which was unusual at the time because a lot of stuff came out through the BBC, especially the kids era wise anyway. And this show was amazing. This show was so good because it was quite it was relatable in a way because it was all about school kids, but it was also also American school kids as well. And it would give you an idea or imagination of what school could be what school could be like with when there are things going on. Like, have you ever been on the playground, you're playing with your friends, and you just sat there after either playing a game of football or after a game or just after running around? You just sit there and then you just go, I wonder what the other kids are doing and talking about. This is kind of what Recess was like. For me anyway. So Recess was a American animated TV show created by Paul. Oh God, I can never get these names right. Grayman. This name is gonna be butchered. Joe Azabolia. Both credited with marketing materials and the latest titles. Cards as under Paul and Joe, which was on the logo Disney's Recess, created by Paul and Joe. And this show focuses on 6 friends who get up to who are trying to protect the kids from trying to protect the kids during recess. Basically, you've got different characters with different traits. You've got lovable rogue TJ. You've also got Vince, who is like the jock, high school jock, but the nice kind of high school jock who will get on with everybody. You've also got Tomboy Spinelli as well, wise wise fool. Description, yeah, that's a bit harsh. Lovable Mikey, nerd child prodigy Gretchen as well, and awkward new kid Gus, who was an interesting character. Gus wasn't initially an original character. I think he was brought in either the second or third episode, because I know there was a couple of episodes at the start of Recess where Gus wasn't involved, and then all of a sudden Gus came in. Gus is the is kind of like the scaredy cat, but he's part of a military family whose dad has moved around quite a bit. I like Gus. Gus was a really fun character, somebody I could relate with. Um, Spinelli as well was another character who used to like try and beat everybody up, but really deep down she had a soft core side about her. Gretchen, I love Gretchen. Gretchen's such a child prodigy. But then they try and make sure that all the kids are all sorted. You've also got you've got the headmaster who I can't remember what the headmaster's name was. Does anyone remember? This is how good I am of a this is how good I am of a podcaster again. They are Principal Prickly, uh, who is the school principal, obviously, and Miss Finster as well, who was the assistant teacher who monitors the children during lunch, recess, and in the halls. She was kind of like the authority figure, and kind of like the show's. She considered the show's baddie, but she's just being a teacher, and obviously you've got other characters through the show as well. You've got Randall, who is like the weasel, who's the school snitch. You've got King Bob as well. You've got the Ashleys, who are the classic, mean girls. Hustler Kid, Guru Kid, Swinger Girl. I can't remember who was Megan. I can't remember what Megan is. The Diggers, Corn Chip Girl as well, Butch, and a few others as well. Singing Kid as well. Like, none of these characters had names. They were all like, they had specific, they were named after the things they did, which I thought was quite interesting because you didn't really have to didn't have to go through the entire thing of giving them names or anything like that. You just literally said, "Oh, this person's this person, this person's this person." Through the show's entirety, this show was very, very successful, as we can see, because it went through 6 seasons. It went through 6 seasons spread out over from 1997 to 2001, as you would have heard in the intro. I distinctly remember watching the movie as well, which we'll talk to at some point. They did announce that there was a movie coming out, which was really cool. The movie's great. I can't wait to touch on the actual movie itself. But Recess School's Out was the follow-on movie, and but yeah, the 6 seasons. I don't really remember watching them through series through each series, because when they were on, they were like smattered here, there, and everywhere. So there wasn't really a following of what they were. You could watch them on Disney Plus. I know I did start watching them on Disney Plus the other day, a few months ago, and I was just sitting there watching it. And I was like, "Wow, these episodes are like nostalgic. All of it was so nostalgic. It was so good." So I go through the episodes now, and you're just looking at it, and you go, "Oh, there you go." The new kid, Gus, was introduced in episode 2, so he wasn't in the initial first episode, but he was brought in on the second episode. But like, I'm not going to do a ranking episode because I haven't seen it for ages, and I'm only going but off this by memory, because that's what sometimes I like to do during this podcast. Not obviously the the notable shows or the episodes that I really, really enjoyed watching were, the new kid, um, first name Ashley, who was a Spinelli episode, which the Ashleys found out what Spinelli's first name was and turned out to be Ashley Spinelli, which is pretty cool. So she ended up being an Ashley for an entire episode and then got away from that. That was quite funny. King Gus was another one. Gus became came King Bob came down with a bad tonsillitis, and Gus was appointed temporary king of the playground, and the power goes to Gus's head. So that was a pretty good one. What are those there? My big brother Chad was a good one. There was another. There was one I just seen. No, I think there was one with Rainy Days was a great one. Because none of the kids could come out come out to recess. I think we've all done it before, right? Where recess has come around at school and it's raining outside. You can't run around, have fun or anything, and you have to stay indoors, which really sucked. This is the point where TJ goes. I think TJ starts going a little bit insane. But it ends up being like really, really cool. And everyone enjoyed eventually. The voice was the voice. Yeah, the voice. The voice was another one. It was another good one. Because Principal Prickly discovered that Mikey's singing, and then brought in a cool music teacher, and obviously Mikey was like too scared, but then she brought it out of him, and I think there was a point. I think it was a point in that episode where I think Mikey started singing Ave Maria, and it had the entire school just like, wow. And even I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, because it just makes you like, it goes quiet, what else? What other episodes were there? Because I'm trying to remember them off by heart. Gretchen and the secret yo-yo was another good one. That's where Gretchen was trying to figure out what hobby she could do, because she's obviously a nerd, right? And sports doesn't really come naturally to her. So that she was like, "What can I do?" And she discovered yo-yos. She's discovered yo-yoing, and I think she became like a master at it. So that was pretty cool. Copycat was another one where Vince saves Mikey's life by catching a baseball instead of hitting him in the face, and Mikey then mimics Vince into like this cool little this cool little episode, which I think everybody's gone through that stage at one point in their lives where they start mimicking people. What else? What other ones are there? Wasn't it? There was I'm pretty sure there was an episode where what was it? What was TJ and Spinelli like had a crush on each other or something like that, and they didn't admit to it or anything like that. I can't remember, but there was a lot of good episodes, a lot of good episodes. Like, sorry guys, this is going to be like it's going to be a short episode because there's only so much of the show I can talk about. Or going off memory. But yeah, there's a lot. There was a lot of good episodes through this show. Of a lot of good episodes. And yeah, I mean, there was another. I know specifically as well. There was another episode where was it Gretchen didn't like TJ for a time, and she doesn't know why. And she tries to figure out why TJ is so likable, but then comes to the conclusion like, no, I like him. I don't know what's going on with me. So that was pretty cool as well. That was a good episode as well. Yeah, I mean, this is probably going to be the shortest episode of of the podcast. But yeah, I mean, this show rocks. Even by listening to like the little snippets of the show that I'm hopefully to implant into this episode. You know, there's a lot of cool moments, a lot of funny moments as well within the show, and this brings back a lot of memories, a huge amount of memories, and I can't really complain of what the show was like back in the day. The animation style was really good, classic 2D cartoon, you know, and trying to like depict what recess is like in America because or what it can be like in America because over here in the UK recess is a little bit different. Well, I wouldn't like to say recess is a little bit well, it is kind of different because most schools in America have like swing ball and other activities implanted into their school. And here in the UK, you don't really have that. You have like a yard, and then that's it. Go have fun, football posts and everything. I have to play football on. But I did imagine as a kid, like what it would be like to go to an American school, and I actually considered like seeing if there was like a program to go to America, to go to school in America, to see what the education system was like, and yeah, turns out you can't do that, which is unfortunate. I think that would have been a cool, they do a lot of like foreign exchange students. I thought that would have been pretty cool and daunting as well at the same time. Probably if I was in my teens, that probably wouldn't have been so bad. So yeah. What else? Is there anything else really to talk about? Um, yeah, I think everybody knew a Randall. Uh, Everyone knew a Randall. Everyone knew a Navy kid. It's just everybody knew There was when you watch the show, there was always one character that would remind you of somebody in school with you. They would always remind you of somebody, and again, this is why I kind of think Recess was kind of a relatable show to many kids during the late 90s, early 2000s when it was showing. And the reruns of the show lasted years. I think the reruns lasted into like the mid 2000s, mid 2000s, early 10s, I think. But yeah, whenever it was on TV, I'd give a chance to watch it because it's just epic, really good. Oh fuck. What are we on? Yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me to talk about because I don't really want to talk about the movie. Uh, because the movie was I liked I liked the first movie and I want to save that for another episode. Just how cool it was at the time because there wasn't many Disney shows that had um movies at the time. I think it was one of the first, but it was really cool. Really cool. So we'll talk about that next time. Right. Okay. Let's get out of here then. Let's get out of here. Let's listen to another segment of the show, and then we'll get to the outro. All right, guys. Cheers.
Oh man, this is worse than the line for the decimator at Gonzo.
TJ, please. I'm calculating the angle that will best deflect the kinetic force of the oncoming ball.
I just swing from the heels and murder the thing.
Next victim.
You okay, Gretchen?
Oh, I believe so. No contusions or abrasions.
Great, then I'm up.
Next. There's gotta be some field of athletic endeavor in which someone like myself might excel.
That's it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today. That was episode 38 of the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast covering Recess. So thank you very much for listening in. Don't forget, guys, to follow us on our socials. You can follow us on Instagram at Multiverse of Entertainment Pod on Instagram and Multiverse and I'll get this right now. Mo Podcast on TikTok as well. You could catch me on socials at ItzThatNerdJames on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube as well. You can catch us there, subscribe and like to the channel if you're listening to us right here on YouTube. You can also catch me on twitch.tv/ItzThatNerdJames. You can catch me on there playing some video games, just having a barrel of laughs as well. You can also catch us on audio form, obviously, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, and much, much more as well. Next week, we are back into the movie section, and it's episode 39, and we are talking about probably one of, I don't know if it's early disaster movie, but it's one of the one of the early ones I remember. We're talking Deep Impact, and if that reminds you of what that show is, watch it before next week's podcast, because I know I am, because it's one of my favorites. So without further ado, guys, Happy New Year again. Thank you for coming in. See you in the rest of 2024 during this journey. And we're going to listen to the outro that we love so, so much. Have a good one, guys. See you next week. Bye.